So let's just hope that we're not without communication for too long.
This is the Starlink Mini.
Oh, too much.
It works. Thank you, Elon.
Have you ever considered what you would do if you lost the ability to use your cell phone or connect to the internet, especially in an emergency? Well, that happens to us quite frequently here in the Adirondacks, so we know how important it is to have a backup plan. Hi, I'm Kathy. My husband Rich and I are building an off-grid green roof home here in the Adirondack Mountains of New York State. We love living remotely. However, there is absolutely no cell phone signal here on our property. And trust me when I tell you, we've tried everything. In fact, our entire community has no cell phone signal. So Wi-Fi calling and internet is our only way to communicate with the outside world, other than maybe a ham radio.
It's starting to boot up. It's blue! Yay! All right, let's go call Mom. All right, it's calling Mom.
Morning.
Good morning, Mom.
It's quite common for us to lose internet due to mistakes, high winds, crazy storms.
It's build day 4, and it doesn't look like we'll be getting much done today as far as the build goes. We are incommunicado with the outside world.
We got no phone, we got no internet, we got nothing.
And even no reason whatsoever, at least that we know of. And when it does go out, it can be out anywhere from a few minutes to hours and even days at a time.
He said within a couple days, we should have somebody down here to fix it. So let's just hope that that is the case and we're not without communication for too long.
Our only option when our Wi-Fi goes out is to drive a few miles up the road until we get a signal. And in an emergency, well, that's not ideal. So we've been on the lookout for a backup plan that was not only affordable, but reliable.
This is the Starlink Mini. We bought this system. This is a portable satellite internet system. It's basically just a plug and play. We did an unboxing. I got an email from Starlink that they want a survey. Let us know what we think. This box and this box.
That's the whole thing?
That's the whole thing. Curious to see how easy it is to set up. We're planning on using this as our backup internet system. And this is mobile, so we could take it up on the mountain if we wanted to.
You might be wondering why we didn't cancel our Frontier and choose the Starlink residential plan. Well, honestly, it comes down to speed and a phone number. We didn't want to give up our Frontier internet because we get speeds of 500 megabits of data per second, plus a local phone number for $65 a month, compared to Starlink Residential, which only gets a maximum of 300 megabits of data per second for $120 a month, and no local phone number. So for us, it made sense to keep our Frontier internet and choose the Starlink Mini as a backup.
This must be the receiver. On the inside lid of the box we have a quick setup guide. Looks pretty easy. The kit came with a pole mount. We don't have a pole. And Kathy bought an additional mount. We're not sure if we're even going to use it. Our power brick. And 50 feet of cable, roughly. Here's the information on our power brick. Looks like it can pull 60 watts. At 30 volts. Wow. 2 amps.
And that brings us to another reason we chose the Mini. We provide 100% of our own power with our 6,400 watt off-grid solar system. We also have 16,200 watts of battery storage and a 14,000 watt propane generator as backup.
And the generator's running again.
So we're very careful about every appliance we choose to include in our daily use. The Frontier modem and routers use a maximum of 30 watts. If we had chosen to switch to residential, we would have been using between 75 and 100 watts, which could deplete our resources pretty quickly, especially during the winter when we can have several weeks of cloudy days here in the Northern Hemisphere. The Mini, however, only uses 25 to 40 watts, which is similar to the Frontier, and of course, that would only be when we turn it on in an emergency.
All right, so let's go plug it in and start the app and see what happens. Right now, this thing is just laying flat on a chair. We are trying to think about where we might want to mount this thing. So let's go take a look at the app, because you do have to download the app to set this thing up. And you can see it's connected out there. So this app is actually very cool. It tells you just about everything you want to know. I'm looking at the ping success. You're looking at your latency. You go over here, you go to your network, it shows that that's the unit. You could look at the devices that are on there. This right here is just showing you that my phone is connected. Showing me that I have a partially obstructed view of the sky. So I could click on view. The other thing that's cool about this is it does take a while for it to get itself calibrated and set up, but as it's setting up, the sky, this little dome section here indicates good reception, and it just turns more and more blue. But you can see we have quite a few obstructions where we have this unit set up. However, it still works. We could go back, we could do a little speed test, see what kind of download speeds we have. Now, we're not going to have super high speeds here. It's not what it's designed for. This is a bare bones setup to be used as a backup for our current system that we have now in case that system goes down. But still, at 200 megabytes per second download, not bad. Upload is 11. You can look at your settings. Now you got the router settings and the Starlink settings. Starlink, you could schedule sleep schedule in case you want to turn it off and not use it. It has a feature where it could melt the snow off the dish if it's outside, and of course software updates and other things. So the app works really good. What we want to try and do is just see if we can't figure out a better location for this to get less obstructions. Even though we still have a pretty good setup right where it is in the backyard, just sitting on a chair. And that's the beauty of this thing. You could just take it on the ATV and bring it up to the top of the mountain and you have internet. You have to be able to make a phone call. I'm just going to see if this is going to be a waste of time here. My thoughts are that with all this dirt, concrete, and rebar up here, we may not get a good Wi-Fi signal. The other option that this thing has is there is a Ethernet port in the bottom where you could run an additional category 5 or whatever it is, category 6 cable down to a router in the house, and then you would connect to that router. I'm just going to do a quick little experiment here. Let me see. So as you can see, it says Starlink unreachable. I had a feeling that was going to happen. We bought this other mount. We might be able to just mount this to like a post. The idea is to make a big heavy base. thing's just gonna be quick and dirty. We're gonna see if we can square it up a little better. There. Now we could put sandbags, rocks, stakes, whatever we want to put to hold this thing down. Only one more thing to do. This is what I came up with.
Wow.
We get right about here, so we can still have line of sight to the house through the walls. No concrete and rocks. Let's see what happens.
Did you just build that?
I just made that. So maybe this, I don't even know if it's the right way.
So it is good that we bought that.
Yeah. Came with a little tool. Keep it from flexing or something.
So that little extra piece was like what, 22 bucks?
Came in handy though.
I'm glad then.
We're gonna give it a minute to calibrate, but we should be pretty good.
Okay. Let's get a view of the sky. Did you do that?
Yeah. And yeah, we could pivot this thing any way we need to.
This is the highest thing nearby is the house.
And so this will be sort of a temporarily permanent setup. You could plant flowers around it. You could put rocks around it. I'm just gonna figure out what to do with all this wire. You could take the dish right off the unit. It's plugged into the outlet outside. Hopefully it has enough clear line of sight to go through the wood on the house there. So for us, being off the grid with no cell service, this was a very bare bones, budget friendly solution to having a backup for internet and Wi-Fi calling.
And that brings us to one of the most important reasons we chose the Starlink Mini: money. Frontier Internet is costing us $65 a month, including taxes, for a total of $780 a year. Starlink Residential would cost $120 a month for a yearly total of $1,440. For a 50 gigabyte roaming plan, the Mini would be $50 a month for a total of $600 a year. Even if we chose to keep Frontier and the Mini at 50 gigabytes a month, it still comes in less than the residential plan. However, there's actually more options with the Starlink Mini. You can choose to pause service and turn it on as needed. Every time you turn it on, you'll be charged the $50 monthly fee, so it can cost significantly less than $600 a year. But there's another option, and this is the one that we chose. After paying $50 for the first month, you have the option to change the plan to 10 gigabytes for $10 a month, for a total cost of $160 for the first year and $120 for subsequent years. So keeping our Frontier and adding the Mini at $10 a month, our total yearly cost will be $900 a year. Even with the initial purchase of the Mini unit this year, that's a substantial savings and a very budget-friendly solution.
So if our internet goes out when a tree falls down around here and takes out the fiber optic cable, this Starlink system will still be working. We don't have to worry about losing our electricity because we're off the grid. I think it's going to be good. It takes almost about an hour for it to recalibrate. Let's go check it. So right now we have 95.3 success rate with the pings. We're still at 24 milliseconds latency. I'm sure we have obstructions, but if we give it a little time, it's actually not bad. Look at all the blue. So Starlink is calibrating and gathering data on obstructions. This usually takes about an hour. Let's see if it plays a video. Ah. Some guy doing a bike review. Wonder who that could be. Alright, so it's playing videos. The plan that we have is a 50 gigabyte per month, a $50 plan. And after this first month, with the roaming plan, we can go to a $10 a month for 10 gigabytes. And that should be plenty for us in an emergency because again, this is just for a backup setup. So yeah, we do need some sort of line of sight. The concrete and the dirt did not work. Let's do a quick speed test and see where we're at. 150, that might go up to about 2 1/4. We're okay at 159. We're okay to make phone calls and do what we need to do.
So we just noticed that the Starlink tilt might be slightly incorrect. So Rich is moving it right now. Oh look, you could see him moving it. Oh, too much. Oh, way too much. He can't hear me.
You got to change it. I'll tell you when.
It goes up instantly on the screen.
It does. It's amazing.
All right, so I'm going to go and do this.
Whoa, a little bit more back the other way. Stop. Little. Still says it's incorrect. Now it has to go. Oh, I see. It has to lift up the back of the Starlink so it goes higher.
Oh.
Yeah, do that. Wait, keep doing that.
That's a lot.
That's it. Oh, wow. It makes this little thing like this when it's aligned. That's right.
Yes, so we're discovering the optimum angle of this thing. And then what I'll do is I'll cut this.
It really was as simple as plug and point, especially with the help of the app to figure out the correct direction and tilt. A few other things that we want to mention. We discovered that we needed to not only be within about 35 feet of the unit, but we have to have a clear line of sight into our home because it's made of concrete and rebar. Rich mentioned it's able to melt snow, and we definitely get a lot of that here in the Adirondacks, so that is a bonus. However, there's an option where you can choose to turn that off or use the preheated mode instead of automatic. It is a nice compact unit with the router built right into it, so it has a lower power consumption, which was another bonus for us living off the grid, but we didn't mention that it can also be powered with AC or DC input. So if the electric does go out, you have a variety of sources you can use for backup power. It's also very portable, so we can easily take it with us camping or even on an ATV ride to the top of the mountain. So if you've never thought about what you would do for communication if the internet goes out or your cell phone doesn't work, in our opinion, the Starlink Mini is not only the most reliable option, but the most economical as well. Oh, and if you ever do need to keep the Starlink on for an extended period of time, it's very simple to add extra gigabytes or upgrade your plan using the app. I'm Kathy, and my husband Rich and I are creating a simpler life in the Adirondacks, but simple doesn't mean easy. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
It works. Thank you, Elon.